Hi guys, hope you're well. Decided to shower and put a little bit of cover on my face because I'm trying out a new color, which I know is completely different from my no makeup look. What do you think of the color, by the way? That sigh, this sigh that you've just heard, is deep in my soul. Deep in my soul. I'm about to drag a black woman, and I want you all to know that as a black woman myself, this doesn't bring me any joy. Doesn't bring me any joy. But you see, when an adult woman, an adult black woman that grew up in the UK or any European country decides to, for whatever reason, allow herself to be used as a flog against another woman of color or people of color on right-wing platforms, you deserve to be torn apart. And I have to say, no shade to my Ghanaian sisters, what is going on? We had Nana Aqua humiliating herself under her busted wig on GB News. We've had Afua Hagan. Afua, I'm waiting for you. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten Afua. I'll get to her. And now we have this woman. I'm about to play you some things. Yes, Jack Royston is here, but I'm not going to waste my time. Jack is a hater and he's just always talking rubbish. Now, Esther, do you know what? Let me play it.
The subject. I mean, the episode was called The Evolution of the Entrepreneur. There's nothing in there about the evolution of the entrepreneur.
Well, I don't think she can press any of her guests, mainly because they're her friends, but also I just don't think there's much substance going on upstairs.
Esther, you're a beautiful woman. And she is. Esther is a beautiful woman. Beautiful. Look at that skin tone. Look at that bone structure. Gorgeous. Of all the things you could do, all the ways you can succeed in broadcasting, this is what you decided that you want to do. Her name is Esther Krakue or whatever her name is. I'll paste her link. Feel free, her Twitter, feel free to let her know your thoughts. You have decided that you want to use your platform to be featured as the token black on right-wing platforms, to say what they are thinking, but what they think will give them validation because it comes from a black woman. Basically, she's Sophie Chandauka part 2. How many times must you black women be used by these right-wing channels before you understand the thing that you think you're trying to get with these people? You are never going to get it. The latest clown, Candace Owens. Candace Owens. Did you guys hear that Candace Owens has now said that she's no longer MAGA? For whatever reason. I didn't even bother digging because Candace, Candace Owens. You saw how they've treated Candace Owens. You saw how Trump treated Omarosa. Esther is featured quite heavily on Piers Morgan's show. If you go on her Twitter, she's very right. She's, always pushing the agenda of the right. Now, I want to be very clear. Like I always say, to all the people who come into the page and say, you Meghan fans are blind. No, never said that. Never said that. Never said that. I am also a grown-ass woman. And I will say this. Nobody is saying that Meghan is above criticism. She is not God. She's not an omnipresent, omniscient being. She's a human being. She will make mistakes. But the unnecessary amount of granular scrutiny these people are giving this woman and her husband is just, and every misstep, every consideration, every breath she takes, everything is scrutinized. She breathes. Oh, but why is she doing 2 breaths per minute? She opens her eyes. Why is she blinking like this? And then we had this idiot, Esther. Esther, Ghanaian women, please now. Please, no, I have to know. To my Ghanaian cousins, what is going on? Because I'm sorry to say this, as a Nigerian, Dr. Shola, our auntie Dr. Shola, Nigerians don't play that. We don't do this. I hope Nigerians don't embarrass me. But we don't do this currently. But don't forget, trust. If I see a Nigerian doing something like this, that one, it will be a personal drag. Let's listen to what nonsense Esther has to say now.
I mean, seriously, I don't
But
think...
you can hire people for that, like hire a producer to tell
But then
her
you
what
have to
ask.
admit that there's nothing in your head. I mean, this is the... So Megan and people like Whitney who kind of move in the same world, and you can see they're very similar. They have this very romanticized view of like what a business owner is and what a female business owner is, as if you get like extra brownie points. And yes, of course, I listened to the whole thing and I didn't learn a single business lesson, which I find quite frustrating. There are loads of business podcasts out there that don't teach anything about business or starting a business or anything. I mean, I kid you not, at some point during the podcast, they talked about bottling up your essence and selling it. And that is the stuff of
making pop up on as ever.
I mean, it's just, it sounds like vagina candles all over again.
Vagina candles sold Goop. Like, vagina candles launched Goop. It wasn't a mistake. It was marketing brilliance. But there's nothing anywhere near as like interesting or lively as vagina.
But that's because it was controversial. I don't think bottling essence. There's no controversy
and it didn't
around
really
that.
smell it very much. Thank God. I thought it was just going to smell like offside. But I think ultimately, what Megan is eventually going to have to realize is, yes, you tune into stuff because you want to learn about her, but there is not much to learn. She's very vacuous. She has a problem with word salad, I noticed. Maybe it's a California thing. But there's really not a lot of substance, to the extent that when she brings on someone who's actually done a lot with her own career and has had an interesting story to tell, she manages to make it as bland as humanly possible. And you really don't understand how. This is why I think actually stepping outside of the royal family.
I'm going somewhere with this. Wait.
If you get like extra brownie points, kind of move in the same world, and you can see
like hire a producer.
This very romanticized view, quite frustrating. There are loads of business podcasts out there that don't teach anything about business or starting a business or anything. I mean, I kid you not, at some point during the podcast, they talked about bottling up your essence and selling it. And that is the stuff of making
pop up on as ever.
I mean, it sounds like vagina candles all over again.
Vagina candles sold Goop. Like, vagina candles launched Goop. It wasn't a mistake. It was marketing brilliance. But there's nothing anywhere near as like interesting or lively as vagina.
But that's because it was controversial. I don't think bottling essence. There's no controversy
and it didn't
around
really
that.
smell it very much. Thank God. I thought it was just going to smell like offside. But I think ultimately, what Megan is eventually going to have to realize is, yes, you tune into stuff because you want to learn about her, but there is not much to learn. She's very vacuous. She has a problem with word salad, I noticed. Maybe it's a California thing. But there's really not a lot of substance, to the extent that when she brings on someone who's actually done a lot with her own career and has had an interesting story to tell, she manages to make it as bland as humanly possible. And you really don't understand how. This is why I think actually stepping outside of the royal family was probably the best thing for her. Because when you are a member of the royal family and you're basically an ambassador for so many issues, you really have to get into the thick of it, and you really have to understand everything that you're doing. Princess Anne, for example, was she's well.
Did you hear all that? Did you hear all that? In Esther, Meghan joined the royal family as a multi-millionaire. Meghan has been working since she was a young teenager. She's been a businesswoman, or she's found a way to make money since she was a teenager. She didn't grow up with wealth. Not since you're using Princess Anne. She didn't grow up into her biggest accomplishment is not an accident of birth. Meghan has been an Argentinian intern. She has been a C to D list actress. A lot of actresses don't get that far. She was renting a multi-million-dollar property when she was dating Harry, because that's where she was living, working on Suits. She had the TIG. She was a UN ambassador. She had worked for multiple charities in Africa. In fact, if you listen to Harry's book, he talks about the reason him and Meghan bonded in the beginning was because of the humanitarian work they were doing in Africa. I've not even gotten to the work that Meghan that the royal family that still earns money on its own today. While Meghan was in the royal family, in the 18 months that she was there, the impact she made. But you, Esther, a beautiful girl, have decided you are so desperate to be a broadcaster that you are whoring yourself out to the right wing so that you can be the token black. So that when the right wing media is rightly called out for their racism and classism against Meghan, you are the Sophie Chandauka they can bring. Did you guys, the reason why I rewinded it, and I think I may have missed the point, the particular point, did you guys notice that at some point when she was insulting Meghan, both of them kept quiet? Bryony and slapped ass Jack Royston and just let her talk. In Nigeria, which I'm sure is the same thing in your Ghanaian culture, that is something you don't do. You don't take family dirty laundry, bring it to the public, and let people spit on it. No. You and your family can hate each other, can beat each other up, safe. But when you're in company, you try and do your best to put your best foot forward. You know why? Because Nigerians, like, optics are very important for us. I'm not implying that Esther knows who Meghan is or cares. Clearly she doesn't. But the fact that a black woman allowed herself to be brought on a right-wing channel space to insult another biracial, insult another black woman is a disgrace. Esther, women like you, people like you, are a disgrace. And the funny thing, the thing that always gets me, guys, is these people always get their Negro wake-up call. Oh, it is almost inevitable at this point that these people will get their Negro wake-up call. How many times must black people be used by the right wing and discarded before you clowns realize that this thing that you are doing does not work? It doesn't matter whether you fit their beauty standards, Esther. It doesn't matter how slim you are, how wonderful your jawline is. Eventually, it will dawn on you that they don't respect you. They bring you here because they want you to bash a black woman, because it is optically better for them to sell the story as, look, see, Shay, you said all of Meghan's fans, or the majority of her fans are black. They aren't. Look at a black woman bashing her. What do you think this is going to achieve now? They tried it with Sophie Chandauka. If you go and look at Sophie Chandauka's LinkedIn, her own people were dragging her. There's a lady on Twitter right now, also from Lesotho, that had her primary job is to go after Sophie. Because, again, this idea the right wing has that just because you put a black, all of us will be like, all black people, because we are a monolith and we are all stupid, we are going to fall in place. It's shocking. It feeds into that racism. In fact, having Esther on the show is racism. You couldn't find any logical arguments to use for your relentless daily harassment of this woman. So you found a willing black. Somebody that has no integrity in herself. The funny thing is, when Esther gets her wake-up call, she will come online and be complaining that there's racism. I should be asking everybody, I have suffered a racism. All of us should leave what we're doing to come and be helping her out. Esther, when it happens, and it will happen, you know what, I've put you especially, I have put a special Google alert for you. When your wake-up call comes, I will do proper lighting, proper camera effect, spend as much time as I need to drag you all the way right down to your ancestors, because it is no better than women like you deserve and people like you deserve. And let me say this again, for those of you who are going to say, you are attacking a black. Nope. If Esther truly believes that Meghan is an idiot, according to her own words, fine. But the fact that you brought yourself on a right-wing channel, using people that would not, these same people that you're kicking and laughing with, anybody who's worked in corporate knows how this works. Anybody who's tried to fit into this type of circles knows how these things work. The fact that someone like Jack Royston, who I personally believe is a racist, and Bryony, who's an idiot, but also probably carries that classism and racism, feels comfortable kicking and laughing with you because you are saying these types of things about a fellow black woman. Shame on you. And frankly, I think all of us should shame Esther. Esther, you are a disgrace. This is all I wanted to say. I have a lot more, but you know what? I've said, because I have one more thing I want to react to. Let me save my energy for that. Esther, all of you, because I see some of you derangers, some of you derangers of color, Roya Nika, all of you, look at me. I'm looking at you right in the eye when I say this. Your person of color wake up call is going to come. It won't be now. It will be soon. And for those of you that continue to make money bashing this woman, Megan is protected. I believe in karma. Everything. Have you noticed that all of them have started to fall? Dan Wootton, sexual pervert, has gone quiet. He thinks we've forgotten. We're going to be reminding him every day that he has a pending case in court for sexually harassing and that is sexual harassment. Asking people to send dick pics. That's, to me, that is sexual abuse. Sending dick pics, false pretenses, and he's ignored sexual abuser. The two big backs, Kinsey, and what's the other one's name? Kinsey is insane. And of course, we've all seen RNN is not well. So I think we can all agree. All of you, your karma is coming. I'm not cursing you, I'm just speaking facts. Your karma is coming. Esther, yours will be particularly painful because you are a black woman. And whatever, and the insulars, you think they are insulated, you are not. I will be very happy to tear you apart. Shame on you for using your platform for this type of nonsense. Praising Princess Anne, you are a disgrace. Guys, what do you think? Am I being too harsh or am I being too nice? I'm not being too nice. No, I truly believe Esther's karma will come and it will be delicious because she's a black woman. She has forgotten that she's a black woman. Time will remind her. Guys, please continue to like, subscribe, give me your thoughts. And be sure to share with Esther because I'll send it to her and tell her that you are a effing disgrace to West Africans, to African women, and to women generally. You are a disgrace. Thanks. Take care. Bye.